How's it going, everyone? I'm Ben from Nolan TCG, here with Lachlan from Cowboy for Game. We're normally Yu-Gi-Oh people, but we've decided to start up a new channel. We're going to be doing Digimon stuff on this channel, which is why it's called DigiAU, because we're from Australia. As you can see the ocean in the background, because
very beautiful.
The ocean is something you see in Australia, because it's not all barren desert. We're going to be doing some deck profiles and stuff on the channel just to start off through like set 1, set 2 of Digimon. Starting us off, I've got my yellow deck that I'm doing for set 1. This will probably change a little bit as we go along because I haven't really had a massive amount of time to playtest this. It is pretty much just mostly theory-based at the moment, as products are a little hard to get in Australia.
Very difficult to get.
It's painful. It's super painful. Structure decks, I have not physically seen one at a shop. They all have to be ordered. So, it's pretty rough, but we'll see how it all plays out over here. And, we'll get into a bit of a deck profile.
Awesome.
So starting us off, we're going to do like the eggs at the end. Starting us off for this, it's pretty heavy Patamon at the moment. So we're just playing 4 of the Searcher Patamon for our first level 3. Just your on summon gets you top 4 look. Try and find the Tamers. Keep going. Away you go. Next off after that, we've got the Patamon for memory or like mana if you're a Magic player. Effectively at the end of, or towards the end of the game, you can just like when you start doing swings or like when you're using your end game stuff for like your Slash Angemon, you're just going to start like gaining memory and trying to like really push with the cards that are Digivolved over this because of its inherited effect. Second up, we've got 2 of the promo Patamon. This is probably cuttable, like it's not super important. I'm just keeping it at 2 just because it can save your ass when you're like really in trouble in the late game. You can just like drop this down, get an extra recovery 1 and kind of stay alive. This one can be cut. It's not the best one. It's 3 copies of Salamon. I'm just playing this at the start because I'm trying to play with a higher level 3 count. You can definitely like cut this if you want to put more power stuff as it goes in. This will probably be the first thing to disappear out of the deck. Next off, we've got 3 copies of Labramon. I would honestly play 4 of this instead of the Salamons instead. I just didn't have a 4th, so we're playing 3 copies of Labramon for now. After that, we have the first of our level 4s. That's 4 copies of Unimon. This is like super important to have in the deck because it's your blocker. We don't have like more blockers at the moment for yellow, so your Unimon becomes very important. After that, you have your Vanilla Beatstick in 4 copies of Repamon. This is simply just a transition piece. It's a vanilla. It has that little bit of extra damage. Well, it can attack as well, which is pretty important, which is why we're playing it. It's also super cheap to summon if you just want to like drop it on the board at 3 cost.
Yeah, wow. 3 cost level 4, pretty decent.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. After this, we have the 4 copies of Angemon. The reason why you need to buy 2 structure decks. Just gains you the memory if you're like kind of doing well. It helps you just like reassert dominance. So like when you're attacking, whatever's evolved over the top gets the 1 memory if you have 4 security or more. So it's like an important card to have something on top of in the mid game, just because it can like really generate power. Well, it really generates memory. Sorry, so you can keep playing. After that, we've got 4 copies of the Angelwoman. The reason why, for some reason, half of our locals has decided to play yellow.
Pretty much.
Yeah, guess why? It's here. It is just like your standard recovery card if you have 3 security or less, so just gets you to the 4 so that your Angemon's inherited effect can start to trigger. Going one over the other seems to always like work out pretty well. After that, we get into like our boss monsters. So we've got 2 copies of the Magna Angemon. Again, recovery card. The way I've built this is to like go heavily recovery in like the mid to late game just to stop you from dying. Also gets you that like inherited effect of like the plus 1000 damage, which is pretty solid. Then we have the card that triggers off a lot of your inherited effects, and that's the Slash Angemon. Just gets you the minus 8000 onto another Digimon. If you can like zero it out, then you start to trigger draws, or you get the extra memory, and then you can really start to threaten game. And then the final Digimon that rounds out the main deck is the 2 copies of Seraphamon. This is just your like game ender, which is why we're playing it.
Yeah.
After that, we move into our Tamers. So you do play a pretty heavy Tamer lineup. As like you get into the next set, so when 1.5 drops, the Tamers become like super relevant in this deck. So starting off, we've just got 4 copies of the TK for the buff. Just gives you buff to your security Digimon. Gets pops, which is always good. Then after that, we've got 4 copies of the next TK. Lets you check your memory. Just again, like these are all just really good cards. We don't play options in this list, which is something you can look at. So like the them being in your memory is like pretty good because they can trigger off. You're not getting pops in that case, like from being bigger and just like destroying the Digimon that's attacking, but it's still pretty relevant. And then after that, we've got the 2 copies of Kari. This rounds out the main deck, just another different name for your tamers, so just like kind of helps out a lot. That's it for the main deck. We get into the eggs next.
The extra deck?
Yeah, for the extra deck, for all the Yu-Gi-Oh players out there. We're playing 2 copies of the Tokamon and 3 copies of the Cupimon. You can probably play a 4-1 ratio. I do think that's better. It's just for some reason I only ordered 3 when I ordered singles for this, and opened my package today and was like, oh boy, I didn't order 4.
Why have I done this?
Yeah, why did I only order 3? Big mistake, big mistake. But yeah, that's it for the first deck profile you'll see here on the channel. We're going to have some like just simple 2 structure deck builds coming up as well. I think, Lachlan, you're building purple at the moment.
Yeah.
We also have Tom's building blue. Generally, everyone at locals has a color they want to play that's kind of different, as well as like the structure decks they're playing. So do expect to see those guys up on the channel. Do you have anything you want to say before we tune out?
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Awesome. Subscribe.
Yeah, hit the subscribe button. Yeah, we should really say that. I should have said that at the start. Hit the subscribe button because it's a new channel.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Awesome.
have a good afternoon, everyone.